Hey guys, it's Alex from 7th Hour Films, back again with Breaking Bad. Last time on Breaking Bad, we had IFT, which it was only after the episode, long after the episode actually, that I figured out what IFT stands for. It stands for I fucked Ted. Again, don't take that clip out of context. There's going to be a compilation at the end of this, isn't there? Of just every time I've said I fucked Ted. Damn it, I said it again. Anyway, so yeah, a lot of things happened last episode. Walt was not assassinated by Tuco's cousins. We did learn that they were Tuco's cousins in this episode. And, let's see, Tuco's cousins and Tio and the cartel boss, they all went to meet with Gus to talk about how they want to kill, Walt. I can't believe I forgot his name for a sec. I wanted to kill Walt, and Gus was like, hey, I get it, but I'm working with this guy, so I'll let you know when you can kill him. And the cartel boss was like, hey, man, you better do this quickly, because I don't know how long I can hold those boys back, Meanwhile, we had all sorts of stuff with Walt being back at home, and Skylar just kind of getting put down the entire episode. She called the police. The police couldn't do anything. She went to her lawyer, but she won't reveal that Walt is a drug dealer and stuff like that. And just, thing after thing after thing, putting Skylar down until eventually she just fucks Ted. And she went home. She went right into Walt's face and said, I fuck Ted. Don't you do it. You're going to do it. I know you're going to do it. Oh, yeah. So she went up, told him it was the ultimate bitch slap, and that was the end of the episode. So yeah, that is pretty much that. Oh, and I think last episode was also the episode where I think Hank got the call that he was going back to El Paso, and then that started to mess with him, and he ended up beating up some guys in a bar. Yeah. Okay, now we can get into this episode of Breaking Bad. Here we go. Dr. Pepper. Ugh. I feel like I've been to these places on road trips.
Maybe we could, trade.
Ooh. Yeah, so he did cook. Damn. In front of the cop. Woo! Man, Jesse with them deals.
Trouble?
Ted Bennick, you cannot be serious. That guy is a joke. I called you. What does that even mean?
You dared me to tell the police, and I couldn't do it, so
Ooh.
you win. If you want to stay in this house, fine, but we are not married.
God,
This is a good way of showing the conversation.
Suit yourself.
Is this a good or a bad thing?
Suit myself. You want me to suit myself? I'll suit myself to his face.
It's a bad thing.
So. Oh, shit.
All right, you don't want to be a man about it? Okay, plan B. How do you like that? Plan B.
Oh, God. He's busting through that window. Oh, God, Skylar's there.
Walt. Walt. What are you doing?
What do you think he's doing?
Talking with Ted.
It's turning into a sitcom. Wow, that's a good window. Yeah, there's security. Fucking crazy, man. I mean... Oh, hey!
What do you want? What do you want? Hey! Hey! Come on!
Oh, good man. Can we get his name?
What the hell is wrong with you? You act
Yeah.
like you're the first guy this ever happened to. I caught my second wife screwing my stepdad, okay?
Jesus.
It's a cruel world, Walt.
Fucking
Grow up.
soul.
Just cool it with this Beneke guy, at least for now, okay? let's talk shop. Because I think this is a great opportunity.
Yeah, how
to
do
channel
they
some of
know?
that negative
How do they know
energy
about this?
into something positive.
How did you know?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Did you bug my house?
Yeah, but I didn't know it
Yeah.
was your house, did I? You moved out. On the other hand,
Oh, he's beating someone up. Yeah, you're gonna... He's just taking his time. Whoa! Hey,
You're
damn.
fired.
Grabbed by the pants,
You're
too.
done.
I don't know what he was looking for. Yeah, freaking tell him about the hitmen. Ah. That's what he saw. Yeah, they are... I don't think they're gonna follow Gus's warnings. Easy there, Casanova.
Are you feeling okay?
This dude's about to get fired.
Well, hey! Walt, what's wrong with you?
Doesn't work, man. He is so fucking out of it. Oh, shit. Yeah, Hank's going back.
The stuff this guy had was blue. You sure about that?
Ooh. Jesse.
Yeah. Yeah, I want to talk to him.
Okay.
Taxi!
Alright, he's going back. Go back for the blue stuff.
What in the hell is this?
What?
What? This is my product.
But yeah, I was gonna cut you in.
Oh, you were gonna cut me in? No. I cut you in.
Yo, what the hell's your problem?
Oh, come
All I'm
on,
asking
man.
is for you to set a meet.
Absolutely not.
Why?
Is this how he gets back in?
I am not gonna lend my name to an inferior product. I mean, look at the diameters here.
Wow.
What did you use for reduction?
He's offended by it.
Platinum dioxide. Sorry, I can't help you.
Fine, asswat. You know what? I'll contact the guy myself.
Oh, yeah? Well, good luck, because my guy is a
the
pro,
box.
and he doesn't deal with junkies.
Hey, you know what? Eat me.
Anytime, loser!
Box.
Hey! Wait! Hey!
Aww. Damn. Inferior shit. Shouldn't that thing be closed when you're doing copies?
This day is dragging.
Ooh. Ooh. Ooh, everyone knows. Ooh, everyone knows. She getting shamed.
How about my lunatic husband refusing to leave the house?
So we'll move in here.
And
Whoa.
then my son. And now everyone at work thinks I'm an evil letter-climbing whore.
They're all fired, effective immediately.
Damn.
What else?
Oh, aren't you the answer man?
You know, climbing the ladder only works if you climb the ladder. You still have the same job.
Where'd it go wrong exactly? With you and Walt?
Do you have 2 seasons? It's a long story.
His son was kind of...
Mel who? Does he have a last name?
Mel. Wait. Was it Mel? Mark.
It was Jesse.
It was definitely him name.
No.
Oh, man.
Starting bar fights? Turning down El Paso? And now this bullshit? Do you need to talk to someone or what?
Talk to someone.
God, he's a scary man.
Your friends were at his place again, by the way. They drew something on the street outside his house. A scythe.
Animals. Does the lawyer know?
Should he?
No.
Then no.
You want this guy to produce again.
I love this chain
Why
of
not just
command we
tell him?
have.
You're the only thing that stands between him and an axe in the head.
I don't believe fear to be an effective motivator. I want investment.
Yeah.
From the lawyer, I'm supposed to let you know the Pinkman kid is looking to sell.
I don't work with junkies.
Well, that's what I thought you'd say. Probably for the best. What I hear, he and Walter are Splitsville.
Really? Do the deal.
All right. Okay, I love the chain of command is so interesting. Like the different levels from Gus to this guy to Saul to back to this guy to Walt. He's going through every M name.
It's real important that I find the person that had these drugs. So if you can remember anything else. Come on. Think. Come on now.
RV.
Come on.
He drove an RV.
Does the ATM film it?
Bingo.
What? Where does he get from an ATM? Dang it. I don't know the inner workings of an ATM. Jesus, man. Would you just eat your cereal?
This is only half. That's right. It's your half.
Yo! Where's the other half,
Walt
bitch?
gets the other half.
But the fact that there's no front plate tells me it's likely New Mexico registration. I checked with DMV. There are only 29 of these early 80s bounders registered in the state.
Only 29.
Yeah. So I gotta go, knock on some doors.
All 29?
Are you going to El Paso now? Tonight?
No.
Hmm.
I can't.
He finally said no.
But that's only because I'm really close to something big here.
Better get to it then.
They're not going to want him back in El Paso.
Our top story this hour, Donald Margolis, the air traffic controller criticized, was rushed to an area hospital early this morning. Apparently the victim of a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Police won't say whether or not...
Oh, come on! Just stop! You're doing that to fuck with me, show. Jesus. Did you just throw money at him? Light is green.
Spending all our days in the valley of the sun.
Alrighty. It was right in that moment that I remembered what the name of this episode was. Alrighty. That is episode 4, Green Light. Which, yeah, like, right at that moment when he pulled up and they showed... Because they showed him and then the reflection of the lights. Like, oh, I remember what the name of this episode is. It's Green Light. So, I think this is... I think this is sort of catalyst for Walt getting back in, because what the fuck else is he going to do now? He lost his job. He lost his family. You know? I mean, I guess he still has his son, technically, but I mean, he's pretty much lost everything, so... Might be time to get back to work. Back to work. Alrighty. So, let's go ahead and hop into the notes for this episode. The first thing I wrote down is Aftermath and Ted. So, okay, I did like that was how this worked. Now, it seems that Junior didn't know about what happened with Ted, so I don't think it's that, Walt blew up immediately, but it was later on, because they even says, like, they said, like, oh, that sound is the garbage disposal, so they were in the kitchen, so yeah, so I mean, there is that I don't think it was immediately that he started yelling at her. But I do like the way they did that. I really do like the way they showed you, instead of just showing you the scene of him blowing up, they have it to where it's on the tape recorder, and the guy is telling it to Saul. I love Saul, by the way. I just love Saul. He's so fucking funny. See, it's one of those things where it's like, okay, going into this, I knew that I already knew this character was, like, got a spin-off show, but man, oh man, that was just so fun, He's just so fun. I love Saul, which makes me excited, honestly, to get into the spin-off show, but that is going to be well after we're done with Breaking Bad, so... Alright. But yeah, the Aftermath. So, that was very clever. I like the way they did that, where it was just the guy. Can we get a name on this guy at some point? I mean, don't tell me, because I'll let the show tell me, but... I was like, why have we not gotten a name for this guy, the intermediary, I guess? Like, I don't know, like, what else to call him, just sort of the middleman, He's kind of the middleman between Walt and Gus and Saul and everything, so... So yeah, but I did like that. And then Walt going ballistic, Sorry, I'm posting Doctor Who. Mummy on the Orient Express is going up right now, just so you know. Okay. So yeah, so man, Walt going ballistic, which, I mean, they do say, like, later on, it's like, oh, physically he's doing just fine. Mentally, he's not doing so well. It's like, I still think Ted could probably kick his ass if he wanted to. Like, it makes me feel like Walt is a bit more of a sickly man, But I guess that's just because he is sick, so I guess that's just sort of me putting that into my head, But yeah, so he goes ballistic, goes to speak to Ted, which is pretty crazy. Man, I guess MVP was that secretary there, or I don't know, like, secretary, or just, the woman at the front desk, who was immediately like, oh, you're Walter White. Ted's in a conference call, and it's like, yeah, she immediately is like, no, you're not coming, you're not talking to Ted. So, I did like that. And that's the crazy thing, too, because this is, like, the next day. This has to be the next day when he goes and does this. And this is after Skylar has already gone to work, Like, geez Louise, this is crazy, man. So, but then we do get the intervention, which I do love, when he just immediately, pretty quickly puts it together. It's like, how do you know about everything with Ted? And it's like, oh, you bugged the house. And I love Saul, again, master of words, Saul Goodman, when he's just like, oh, well, you told me to watch out for your wife. I did? It's like, okay, you heavily implied that, I don't know why I sort of give Saul more of a Brooklyn accent, but yeah, it's like, okay, so maybe it was my idea. All right, so whatever, but it was good, I stopped you from, beating the shit out of this guy. So that intervention was funny. But man, and then he goes after Saul. He tries to beat him up. I do love, though, again, Middleman, which we're just going to have to call him Middleman until we find out his real name. But yeah, with Middleman, when we just like goes over, like he just takes his time. He's just like, he gets up, tucks in his shirt again, and then he just goes, grabs Walt. This dude, I don't know, this is like some bouncer level shit or something. He just grabs him by his pants and his collar, lifts him, and tosses him. Like, damn, man. Like, that guy knows what he's doing. I appreciate that. It's not just the normal, try to grab the shoulders, but no, it's like, this dude knew exactly where to grab to get that man off of Saul, So that was pretty cool. But yeah, and then he fired Saul, I do like, though, when they say, like, when Saul's like, hey, as if you got arrested, hey, I'm your lawyer, so I'll get paid still, but as your business partner, we can't exactly do business if you're in jail. So it's like, I love just the way Saul thinks, it's just so good. So, but yeah, that intervention was crazy, and Saul's done with him. For now, I think they'll kiss and make up at some point. Ooh, that shit's good today. I don't know why. This Pepsi is really tasty today. Anyway, the next thing I wrote down, I feel like I didn't write down as many notes as I probably should have, but honestly, like, each note, like, covers specific, like, subplots, basically. Subplots, Like, I only wrote down one note for Hank, but we're going to be talking a lot about Hank, because he had a major subplot going on. So, I don't know. But anyway, so the next thing I actually wrote down was fired. Walt has been fired from his job. Man, that is crazy. That is crazy. He has immediately and effective immediately been fired from his job for sexual harassment, I guess. Harassment. I don't know. Sometimes I hear people say harassment and it just sounds weird. I don't know. Anyway, tomato, I guess. Does anyone say tomato, though? Maybe the British do. It sounds like some posh shit thing they would say. Sorry, British. Anyway, I don't know. We're going off the fucking rails in this discussion. This is the first episode of the day, and I'm already going off the rails. Oh, boy. Yeah, Walt has been fired because he tried to bang his boss, too. Nope. Does not work. Does not work. Does not work, bald old man trying to hit on your young boss. No, that only works for, the beautiful woman going after the, I assume slightly older boss. I assume Ted's a little older. His hair is getting a little gray, so I don't know. I would imagine, I guess I would imagine they're probably around the same age, but he looks older, so I don't know. Of course, I would say that, like, Skylar's, like, 15 years younger than Walt is, but maybe that's the bald still. Like, if I try to think back to, like, episode 1 when he looked a little younger, so, because he had hair. I don't know, maybe it's that. Anyway, but yeah, Walt has been fired from the high school. So, pretty much his normal life, his normal life is gone. Like, he's been fired from his job. He doesn't have his wife anymore, Like, he still lives there, but they are donezo. They are Dunyan rings. And it's like, everything is gone. It's like, I think that's why. I think, and I guess we'll talk about this more, when we get to the note, but I think that's why this episode is called Greenlight, because it's like, all right, I think this is where Walt needs to get back into the business, Like Jesse, basically. So, anyway, so yeah, Walt was fired. That's pretty crazy. Now, it's interesting they say it's like, oh, well, you've been having some behavioral problems in, recently. It's like, well, other than today, because today he was, zoning out like crazy, but they've shown he's been pretty good in his classes, hasn't he? Unless I'm missing something. I don't think they showed any scenes of that. The only thing I can think of is, like, when they said, or when they showed that scene where, and this was in season 2, where, his phone that was in the ceiling was buzzing, and he just sort of passed it off as, oh, it must be the pipes. All right, back to work, Like, but that wasn't, that wouldn't, be one of those, oh, you've been acting weirdly lately, So, I don't know. That was the one thing where it's like, didn't that just start today? I don't know. But doesn't matter. He's fired anyway, so... I guess we should talk about Hank now. So, this has been building for a little while, especially last episode, too. Hank does not want to go back to El Paso, but he will not admit that. Even in this episode, he won't admit that, And I think this is it, I think that was his last chance, basically. I don't think they're going to let him back in El Paso now. I think he's done. He's done. Which, that's the thing, is that after everything that happened in El Paso, which, that's the crazy thing is, El Paso, where at first, the most we saw of El Paso was he just wasn't fitting in, he didn't speak Spanish and everything like that. The thing that has, scarred him, kind of traumatized him, was, the Tortuga's head, and then it exploded, and people's limbs were blown off and stuff, so that traumatized him. So it's the mix of those two things as to why Hank does not want to go back to El Paso. But fuck if he will admit that. Anyway. He will not admit that. He will go on wild goose chases to stay out of El Paso, but he won't admit that's what he's doing, Because that's the thing. It's like, oh, well, as the guy's, there was an M name. So he writes down every possible M name of, druggies that he can think of, and then he goes and he talks to each and every one of them, And then, at the end there, where it's like, okay, well, this RV, which is interesting that he didn't, that he doesn't recognize that as Jesse's RV. Well, I don't know. Would he, though? I guess not. Maybe not. And maybe that's just me, putting that in there. Yeah, I don't know if he would actually recognize that as Jesse's RV. But yeah, it's like, oh, well, they only made 29 of these. And it's like, 29. You're going to go to all 29 of these and start knocking on doors? Really? That's what you're going to do? So yeah, that's pretty crazy. It's definitely, it's like he is creating a wild goose chase, Like they even say, it's like, hey, how do you know that this is Heisenberg gearing up again? The ironic thing is, while this isn't Heisenberg gearing up again, Heisenberg is going to start gearing up again, That's the ironic thing, is now that's going to be happening in the show. But yeah, it's like, how do you know that this is going to happen? And he's just like, I know. And it's like, no, you don't know. You just want any reason not to go back to El Paso. So, yeah. And I think that was his last chance, I think that was his last chance at the end with the chief or whatever title he is. Which that guy kind of seemed familiar. I wonder who that actor was. But yeah, I think it's like, okay, are you going to go to El Paso right now? And he said, no, because I got so much work to do, And he's like, okay, and go get to work. It's like, I don't think it's a simple thing of like, well, I mean, I don't know. I don't think it's like, like he'll get fired for this or anything. It's like, no, it was a simple like, okay, are you going to go to El Paso? Yes or no? Hank said no. He gave his reason why, but we all know that's not it. And the chief was like, okay, you said no. You're not going back to El Paso. You're going to stay here then. So we'll have to see if, this affects Hank later, like if somehow like he gets past the Heisenberg case, which I don't know how he would get past it, because Heisenberg is now actually starting back up again. But I don't know. Maybe he's gonna realize later, it's like, hey, maybe there's going to be a point where he's like, all right, I'm ready to go to El Paso, and they're gonna be like, yeah, sorry, dude, you missed your chance. You're not going. So. Oh, boy. Man, Hank was our safe character, Hank was our safe character where, you know, we didn't have all this, you know, stuff about all this drama and stuff. Hank was our safe, fun character. Now we don't have that. He's got his stuff now. But it's too good to be true. It was too good to be true. Of course they would, you know, go and do something. They would give him a plot and a character arc. Oh, the nerve. Why is this so good today? I don't get it. I don't know why I'm like so confused too, but this Pepsi is really good today. Which, yes, Pepsi. Pepsi, zero sugar. This has so much caffeine. I love it. It's basically my coffee. Like, I don't drink coffee, I drink Pepsi. Zero sugar, though. And 0 calories, so. Well. Let's not get into that. Inferior. Jesse has made an inferior product. Which, you know, I could kind of already tell is like, okay, it kind of looks like a blue-green, honestly. You know, so he didn't do it quite right. I did like that he was, you know, he was defending himself when Walt was like, oh, so did you do this? And he was like, no, I did this. And Walt was like, well, I'm sure you messed it up somehow, you know? So I did like that. It's like he was still able to defend what he was doing, but yeah, it's like it is definitely sort of an inferior product, I feel like. So that was interesting, just that talk, and I love Walt being personally offended by it, you know? And especially too when he's like, no, you don't give me my half, I give you your half. And it's like, motherfucker, you've been out of it. Who cares? You know, it's like he is so offended that Jesse has taken it upon himself, that Jesse did all the work. And all you're doing is sitting on your ass and getting your half. And he is offended by that, you know? He's offended by that. But they still ended up with the deal. Gus still made the deal and took Jesse's product, which is interesting. Which, yeah, I kind of want to... I'm actually going to go back to that scene. Let me hear the inner workings of that again. Because I just love... like I said, I love, like, the... I love the, like, inner workings of... like, because, again, like, the hierarchy, you know? And I like when... because, you know... Middleman talks about, you know, oh, well, your friends, you know, they left a drawing of the scythe, you know, in front of Walt's house. And so now, you know, Gus has to still deal with this, and he's like, does the lawyer know? And it's like, does he need to know? No. All right. So it's like just the different inner workings between all of them, you know? And Middleman. I love Middleman. Middleman's a great character. Now, where was that part? Here it is.
Good news is, for stage 3 cancer, the guy's doing well, physically. Mentally, the guy's a disaster.
Well.
He's going off the rails over this thing with his wife. In my opinion, he's not coming back. Not on his own.
Yeah, so Middleman's idea is that he's like, oh, well, why don't you just threaten him to work? And Gus says, no, we can't just threaten him. We need investment. So I do like that. Which I think this is like the rest of this episode is pushing him into, okay, I need to just get back to cooking.
Your friends were at his place again, by the way. They drew something on the street outside his house. Beside.
Does the lawyer know?
Should he?
No.
You want this guy to produce again. Why not just tell him? You're the only thing that stands between him and an axe in the head.
I don't believe fear to be an effective motivator.
Yeah.
I want investment.
Tell him, hey, if you cook for me, then they'll leave you alone, basically.
For now, I'm simply interested in time frame. He will live for the foreseeable future.
Foreseeable, couple years at least, barring acts of God and men with axes. From the lawyer, I'm supposed to let you know the Pinkman kid is looking to sell.
I don't work with junkies.
Well, that's what I thought you'd say. Probably for the best. What I hear, he and Walter are Splitsville.
Really?
That's what Goodman says. Cats and dogs.
Do the deal.
All right. So yeah, that's interesting that he is still taking the deal. Now, the way he says, I don't work with junkies. Well, he's not a junkie anymore. He's clean and he's going to stay clean, presumably. That's at least what he says. So I'm wondering if that might let Jesse in a bit. Maybe. I don't know, but he did make the deal, so which is pretty cool. Of course, he was thinking, okay, well, I'll get the full money, but no, it is the other half is going to Walt. So, oh yeah, I wrote down shame, ding ding ding, shame. Yeah, there is definitely some shaming going on at the Beneke, whatever the fuck they're called, the Beneke Fabrications or whatever. Yeah, so they all think she's some slut climbing the ladder, getting into the boss's pants to climb the ladder. Now, that is funny because like I said, it's like, well, in order to be a slut that climbs the ladder, you have to climb the ladder still. She hasn't climbed the ladder and she's not going to. Like, she's not going to get a promotion off of this, So, but that's not the way they see her, Even if it is an affair, I feel like even if they knew everything, they'd probably be like, well, you're still fucking the boss, so fuck off, So, yeah, she is being shamed. Ding, 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 shame. Anyway. I also wrote down move in. Interesting proposal by Mr. Beneke there. He is offering for Skylar to move in with Walter Jr. and Holly. Now, here's the thing, too, that just came to my mind just now. If she actually married Ted, then they're good. Like, they would be good. He can friggin' pay for everything. He can take care of them, send the kids to college and everything. I think it'd be a little hard on Walter Jr., but, like Ted said, hey, maybe, he'll get over it. If he started taking care of everything, my God, would that piss off Walt to high heaven. Because he has worked so hard, earned so much money, and done everything he could, and has done horrible things to ensure that his family had a bright future. And if Ted came in and sniped all that and was like, oh, well, don't worry, I will take care of them, Oh my God, that would be horrible. That would be so horrible for Walt, but now I want to see it. Oh, I love the drama of this family. Anyway, but yeah. So, yeah, if Skylar moves in, this could lead to some new things. Lead to some interesting things for the family and Walt. I can't see when I don't look through my glasses. I really, I'm blurry. I can't see the letters or the numbers. Anyway, this has been an interesting discussion we've had. We've kind of gone off the rails a little bit. The last thing I wrote down to finish this off, I wrote down green light because in that last scene, I finally remembered what the name of this episode was, green light. So I think it is symbolic that okay, this is Walt being like, okay, I need to get back because everything else in my life is gone. And it's like Jesse said, this is the only thing I'm good at. And maybe it's time for Walt to start thinking that too. This is the only thing I'm good at is cooking, So, and that friggin' radio broadcast, like, Donald Margolis was taken to a hospital after a self-inflicted bullet wound. Like, shut up! Stop! Let this character go already! Just stop! They just did that to fuck with me. They did that to fuck with all of us. They just did that just to be like, hey, yeah, you know what? You remember Donald? You remember how sad all that was? Yeah, let me twist that knife in your stomach a little bit. Yeah, friggin' bullet wound. Ugh, that's what they're doing to us. There's a low blow too. It's like, oh yeah, this, yeah, get out of here. So, poor Donald. Oh well. Man, what if he came back sometime? That'd be fucking crazy. That'd be crazy if he came back sometime. Like, I don't know why, but maybe we'll see him again someday. I don't know. They won't let the character go. Even in a radio broadcast, they won't let this guy just leave, you know? Oy. Anyway, that's pretty much it. With all that being said, I'm Alex from 7th Hour Films, and I will see you guys next time. Take care. Alright guys, thanks for watching this video. If you want to watch more of my Breaking Bad reactions, you can click on the playlist, you can subscribe if you haven't done that already, and be sure you hit that notification bell. You can support me on Patreon and follow me on social media, links below in the description. See you guys later.